Hi guys, it's Tom here. I'm here with Plotroff, and we're just going to do a little retrospective on the old zombies maps. So we don't really have a plan of exactly what we're going to say, but we're just going to go through all the maps and talk about some of our memories and stuff. So without further ado, say something, Plop.
Hello,
Hello, yeah, brilliant.
it's me, your boy Plop.
Me, your boy Plop, and this game's been out for over 10 years now. Actually, it came out in 2010. It's now 2021. It's pretty fucking crazy. Like, the last time I played even was like 3 years ago. It feels like 2 and a bit years ago. It's crazy. I
Been,
never thought I'd stop playing. To be honest, it's weird.
I mean, it's just I didn't think I'd ever get bored off it.
Yeah, isn't it crazy to think now that we literally spent thousands and thousands of hours playing this game, trying to get high rounds, and now we don't play it and we don't give a shit anymore? Like, what were we doing? We were just wasting our time.
Honestly, I mean, is there any more for waste than any other game?
Yeah, I guess so. But I remember I would like not go outside for days because I was playing a high round. Like I would not. You know what I mean? Like I missed out on losing my virginity when I was like 15 to try and get a world record on Shinonuma. I mean,
Dude, it's no worse than people that obsessively play like World of Warcraft, where I mean, I haven't played it myself, but I've heard that there's like raids that take like days, where some people will like stay up for like over 24 hours just to partake in a raid and not go out for like a week. So is it really worse? I mean, it's like I wouldn't say it's worse than obsessively playing anything, any game.
yeah. I don't know. I guess we were just like 14 and 15, and we just had way too much time. Like I could not imagine playing a 70-hour zombies game right now. Like, could you?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, and I'm unemployed, right? And you're independently wealthy, you know.
Yeah, and I still couldn't imagine it.
Yeah. What the fuck? So yeah, Kino the Toten. Now you're the guy with the 200 on this. So
208.
yeah, 208. So I'll let you talk about Kino because I never really I didn't get anything that impressive on Kino. I think I have a 100 in solo and I have like 70 co-op, but I didn't do a 200.
I mean, I would consider Kino to be the best map, Black Ops 1, because it was like the most. I mean, I guess the most pure map that they introduced with Black Ops 1, like the most pure map, not counting the World of Warcraft, not World of Warcraft, World at War maps, not counting the World at War maps, because if you look at all the other maps, they all had weird stuff going on, like George Romero on Call of the Dead. On Shangri-La, there was the Wonder Weapon, which in itself is weird, and there's no traps or anything.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I actually hated that. That they had to have a stupid gimmick on every map. Uh, like
yeah,
on
Ascension.
Kino they had the gas crawlers, but it wasn't as bad as like George Romero, for instance.
No, and even Ascension was a gimmicky map when you think about it, because you had to like get the right perk locations and stuff. Whereas Kino, you could just start a game, and it would be like any other time you play Kino.
Yeah, yeah. There was some shit that I didn't like with Kino. Like, you had to like not go in the first room and stuff. There were things I didn't like them up personally because of that. That you to avoid the gas crawlers, like you couldn't go into the first room and that sort of thing. Um, I don't know. I also had problems where I would try and get in the safe spot in like the fire trap, and I would go down because I was bad at the game.
Yeah, the fire trap. I mean, you get used to it. Like I did it reliably for like 208 rounds. I mean, it's not actually difficult once you get used to it. It's just a matter of practice. And it didn't even take that much practice for me. I'd say it's probably the easiest map, honestly, even easier than Ascension, because I don't know. It's just there's less to like the monkeys can really fuck you in Ascension. Whereas Kino, every round is like every other round, except for the Hellhounds, but those are honestly trivial. And those are definitely the easiest
Yeah, yeah.
like special rounds in the game.
Yeah, or I guess the Doctor is even easier, isn't it? Because you just let him steal your fucking gun and you go back upstairs or whatever.
I mean, even him though, like the fact that you have to go downstairs and stuff. I don't know. Like I feel like it's the Hellhounds when they come. It's just like a moment of reprieve. You get ammo finally,
Hmm. Yeah,
which
yeah.
you shouldn't have used much ammo considering how easy the train is.
Yeah, I remember back in the old days when people used to like shoot out of the thing. Do you remember that?
Well, shoot the zombies
Yeah, yeah. It
onto
was
it.
it was standard practice. Like when the fire trap turns off, you you shoot the thunder gun and just run out. Do you remember that? And like sometimes you'd fuck it up and you'd have to shoot like 3 times. It was awful. Then you'd have
Yeah,
to trade out.
that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why people ever did that. It makes no sense. I
Yeah.
mean, like why? You know, you just don't have to.
I mean, like
Doesn't make
I am like old in the zombies community, so I remember before any of this shit. Like what you did was you ran a train on the stage, right?
Yeah.
And you killed them with a thunder gun, or you'd like run all the way around the map and then kill them with a trap, and it was like 3 minutes per horde. And I remember I got round 29 on Kino the Toten, and I remember this is the first like high round that I got, and it's not even a high round. I was like telling everyone at school, and they were like so impressed. Like, how did you do that by yourself? Because back then everyone just used the camp. And I remember I did like 50 on it the next time, and it was like really unbelievable to everyone that I knew.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. You know the Syndicate project? Apparently his game was actually cheated. Did you know that?
You told me recently, but I
Yeah, yeah.
forgot. Yeah, he like spliced it together. I mean, he was never a serious zombies player, was he? He was just some random YouTuber. I
He
mean, like
was.
nobody in the community really knew.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, he was very big in a casual audience. I actually got into high end zombies from watching the Syndicate project, and I was like, oh shit, you can actually do this sort of thing. So my entire zombies career is based off a guy who spliced his games, basically. You know, like I watched that, and I got like inspired and started playing myself.
I never watched him. I was never a fan, so I really I really never watched him.
Yeah. So what is your solo and co-op on Keynote then? Do you know?
My solo is 208. I don't know what my co-op is, to be honest. I think like didn't we do a 70 at least once?
I mean, I know I did a 70 or a 71 with Mr. Blackop back in the day. Uh,
Or maybe I only have a 50 on co-op. Then I was never that big into co-op anyway. I know there's people that only play co-op. There's always
yeah,
more.
I'm checking the leaderboards now. It says that you have 163 with 4 players, so I'm guessing that's not legit. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, it says you have 163 with 4 players.
163.
Yeah, with 4 players. I'm not sure about that one, mate.
Well, you know how the in-game leaderboards are unreliable at best.
Yeah, yeah. So it says
Why
here I
even
have a 70, so that must be what I have.
Yeah,
Right.
that sounds right.
Yeah, yeah. So Joker, actually, out of all of our friendship group, he has the highest. He has 104 co-op.
I mean, that's respectable. Very
Yeah.
respectable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's all I really have to say about Kino. Honestly, it was a good map. Let's say I didn't personally enjoy it because I didn't like the gas crawlers, and I would constantly go down in the fire trap, and yeah, like not being able to go into the first room. I didn't like that. Um, but yeah, it's a good map. It didn't have stupid shit. Like it had a wonder weapon. It had traps. So I got to give it some credit there. Okay, moving on to 5. What do you
Alright,
make of 5?
I want to say though, I had the best wonder weapon.
Yeah, yeah, the thunder gun. Um, I
Like,
mean, I actually
objectively.
really like the wave gun, uh, because it was like the same as the thunder gun, except that it also had the pistols as well. You know,
What's the wave gun again? I forgot.
it's the one on Moon.
Oh, the one on Moon. Oh, right. Nah, because it fucked you a lot of the time. Like, the zombie. Like, didn't it, like, glitch out so, like, the zombies could still hit you? Even though they were affected by the wave or something.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
It was
I actually
awful.
got my username from that fucking gun because I liked it so much.
Did you? I
Yeah,
always hated the wave gun. I really hated it. Because it was powerful, but, like, it was unreliable, and that's the worst thing. I'd rather something that where, like, I know that I can't. That, like, it's not useful. Whereas the wave gun was, like, sometimes like most of the time it was really good and sometimes it would just fuck you, and to me that's actually the worst thing is like when you have something where you rely on it but you shouldn't. It was to me always by far the worst. I have to say.
Yeah, I have to say, I really didn't like in the T-gun that you couldn't reload it. That really bothered me. Because, like, when it
Mm,
had one shot in, I was always paranoid that the T-gun was going to fail. And then it often
yeah,
did, and then you would go down.
that's
Yeah,
true. That is true. But at least you had. I mean, you shouldn't let them get that close that a T-gun fail would fuck you. And you always have what's it called, speed cola. So you always reload very fast anyway.
yeah,
Especially
yeah.
the T-gun has like an incredibly fast reload with
Yeah, yeah,
the.
but when it's out of ammo, he just puts the new thing in, doesn't he? Like, he doesn't have to take the old one out, if I... Does he? I can't remember.
Exactly. No, no, when it's out, he just puts a new one in. It's extremely fast. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I didn't consider it to be that bad.
yeah, and insta-kill rounds, what would you... I mean, you can talk about that. You just camp in the alley, right? But I think... Isn't that not what people do today? I think they just camp in the fire room now, don't they, with the MPL?
I have no idea what they do today. I camped in the alley. I always assumed that was the thing to do.
Oh, well, that was the done thing in your day, for sure. But I
I
think
got
these
down
days
doing
they
it.
do something else.
I got down doing it once. Is the thing. I mean, they can overrun you. I mean, you laugh, but like it actually happens pretty quickly. Just because it's insta kill doesn't mean that you're invincible. They can really swim you. Because even though it's they have level 1 health, they still run like it's round 163, and they still spawn like it's round 163, and they will not stop. And then it's really precarious when you're going to go back to get your perks because they're spawning all around you all the time, and like 2 hits is enough. You know, even though it's the insta kill, they're still dangerous because they only need 2 hits. So it's pretty dangerous, honestly.
Hmm.
You really have to watch out, and they're coming from 2 sides as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty bad actually. Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
stressful.
almost took it down on insta kill on in my Ascension game.
Yeah.
I like got red screen quite a few times because I camped at the MPL. Like, I'm not sure what the done strat is, but I just camped at the MPL spawn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah, I mean, people used to do stupid shit. Like, they used to. I think it was Pishizor back in the day. He used to trade out on Instagram runs. He would try and get like HKs, and like he would hold like a staircase, and
Yeah,
then
it's
like
fucking
trade them out.
retarded.
Yeah.
That's retarded. Yeah, I see no point in that. I used to just use the AK-74U. Why would you even need like an HK? Like what? It needs so much ammo, and the AK-74U is extremely effective on insta-kill. Especially because you don't even use a normal one, do you? I had a pack-a-punch one.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, that's right.
it one-shots them with a 40-round mag and rapid fire. What's the point in trading out? There isn't one.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think that's everything
That's
about Kino,
fine.
really, isn't it? It was a good map, let's say. It just I didn't personally like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So
I like.
moving on to five. Five, I have to say, is one of my least favorite maps. I never got a good game of five like in my life. I remember like just going way back. I got like 35, and my strategy was to hoard up in the middle room, right, and just shoot at them with an upgraded MP5 until they died, and that was it.
Hmm.
And that took me like 6 hours, and I got to 35. It was unbelievable how long that took, because I'd have to like hoard them up, go up to the MP5, walk all the way around the thing, and then like shoot at them again. And then I was losing points or something, so I had to trade it out. It was awful. Like, I
Yeah.
was using an upgraded MP5. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say I don't even know what to say. I guess I was just not skilled enough for something for 5. It's the hardest map. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It is the hardest map to do high runs on, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So just for people that don't know the history of the map, basically, the highest anyone had was like 50 or something, right? Where people would hoard up in that room and use ray guns or something. But Pishizor, as well as I think 5 and 5, we're actually looking at um, that for some reason, if you used the elevator, the downstairs elevator, it changed which windows were active upstairs in 5, right? Because there was always like 4 out of 6 of them would be active, and you had to like use the elevator to change which ones it was. And I'm happy to say I was like one of the first 3 people to know about this because I was talking to Pishizor, and he like explained this thing that he's working on. And I thought that it was absolutely crazy. But yeah, it was a right pain in the ass to do because there was only a 7% chance that you got the correct windows any time you did it, and like you go downstairs, you'd come up, and it would be awful, and you'd waste all your crossbow and go down. I remember
Yeah.
I spent I don't know countless hours trying to actually get it set up, and I think I did get it set up, but I spent that long trying to get it set up. I didn't actually know how to run the strategy, and
Base.
I
Base.
I just downed like immediately, and I was really pissed.
I mean, I never got it going. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I never got a decent round on it.
Yeah.
I think,
So what I did was I played a game on 5 and I cheated to get to whatever around like 60 or something, right? And I cheated to get the Windows set up, and then I just played the strategy through.
yeah.
I think I made a video about that, and I got exposed like the next day. They were like, "Oh, these Windows are fucked and stuff."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? I've talked for a while.
I think the highest I got is like 70.
All
I
right, and
think
you
like
just went down.
70 on. Yeah. As you do on 5.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty bad because you don't have a wonder weapon. You just have the crossbow. It's
It's,
unreliable at best because you don't have PhD flopper. So
I can understand why people like the map though, because I remember there was a lot of people that really loved that map, and I get it. It's because it's so challenging. I mean, I guess if you're into being challenged in that way, it's good. It's probably the one map that, thinking back on it now, if I were to play zombies again, single player at least, I would definitely try and get like 100 plus on 5, just because that's like the one I never did.
yeah, it says here you only have 32 in co-op.
Yeah, I mean, does that even count? That's probably real.
Yeah. And here it says I have 42 in co-op.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, I'd probably do 100. I might one day do 100 on 5 just for my own personal enjoyment.
Yeah, I might do it. It'd be interesting because we've never done it really. It's probably my least played map, or one of my least played maps.
So what other maps are there to talk about?
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say about 5. Yeah, there was this guy called Operative, right?
Okay.
Who you remember that guy? He used to take Adderall to like concentrate really hard and play on 5. I remember that. And didn't he get like a 200? He got a 212, I think.
Dude, he used to deal drugs to kids at his school. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not even trying to slander him. He admitted that publicly.
yeah.
Like, the guy was a fucking drug addict, basically. He used to get really high on Adderall, and like I think and drink energy drinks in addition. So he was like really wired, and he would play high rounds on 5.
Yeah, it's like I remember I was thinking about that. It's like doping, isn't it? It's like someone who's like a gymnast and they take steroids. I always thought of it like that, like he was taking performance enhancing drugs to play on 5.
And this
I
reminds
thought
me.
it shouldn't be counted.
I mean, are there laws like is it not allowed to dope before something like a professional chess match? I mean, you know about this. Like, if you take Adderall before a professional chess match, and you get drug tested, does that disqualify you? I mean, is that doping?
Oh, I don't know. I would say it is, unless you had like a medical reason why you needed it. But I don't know. I don't think there has ever been a case of this happening. It's
The
someone could
thing is,
probably correct me on that, but
it's not the way people imagine it. I mean, I never took Adderall, which I've heard. Like, I used to be prescribed Ritalin as a kid, right? And I probably didn't need it, to be honest. So, I got, like it's like if somebody that actually needs it takes it, it just calms them down. Whereas for me, it made me hyper focused, because I probably didn't need it. Um, yeah, I'm not even gonna feel bad about this, about the fact that I got it. I mean, I think it's immoral that doctors just prescribe this stuff, just as an asides. Like, oh, like my kid is fidgeting in class. Let me just give him amphetamines,
yeah, it's ridiculous, right?
like kids fidget, like didn't you fidget as a kid? Who the fuck, like, they're learning about something that doesn't interest them. They're gonna be distracted and not pay attention. Like, that's just what being a child is, right?
Yeah, it's the sort of thing from like, sort of late 19th century, early 20th century that you read about, people just being given cocaine or something, you know?
I'd say it's the fault of the teachers. They should make the
Yeah,
lesson more engaging if they want the kids to pay attention, not have doctors give them amphetamines. But anyway, I used to
yeah,
take Ritalin, right? And the thing about it is, and there's been studies done on this and other like Adderall and stuff. The thing about it is, it doesn't improve your performance as much as you think it does when you're on it. It actually just makes you hyper confident. Like, it does make you focus, but it also makes you extremely confident to the point where, like, there's a curve for this. You know, there's a point where if you take too much, um, it will actually make you really fidgety and distracted, while at the same time still believing that you're focused. And it will actually make you less performant than the baseline. So this stuff isn't. I mean, in a sense, it's not as bad as you might think it is, in like doping. You know, if people do this in like chess matches or something, because it's not actually very effective.
yeah, yeah. There was actually,
It's sort of a meme, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. There was a thing about this actually. You know, I went to in sixth form. I went to quite a competitive school, right? And there were lots of people who would piss about, and their parents like expect them to become doctors and stuff. So in that grammar school, study drugs are a big thing, right?
Mm.
People would like take various amphetamines and then study really hard, like pull all nighters trying to learn stuff. And I think there was a guy who did that, and he ended up actually being like completely out of it if he'd come down off it or something, and he ended up missing one of his exams.
Yes, because it's addictive. I mean, it's amphetamines. You can get in a serious addiction. And also, like studies have shown that that's not the best way to study. Is to like cramming overnight is like one of the worst ways to study because the best way is I think it's called like spaced repetition, isn't it?
Yes, that's quite correct. Yeah, like you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to.
You study something now, and then like 3 days from now, and then like a week after that, and then like a month after that, and then like 2 months after that. And if you do that, you know, something like that. Don't quote me on the exact, but if you do that, you will remember something forever. You know, like flashcards and stuff like that. Like, and you won't just remember it for your exam. If you do this right, you'll potentially remember it for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah, uh,
if you're gonna study further, like you're gonna study mathematics, let's say. Sorry, I just want to put like finish this thought. If you're gonna study like mathematics and you crammed for a high school exam once and you forget something later, it's gonna bite you in the ass. Like you can't afford to forget, you know, some of the things that you've learned in high school because something might come back, you know, the second year into your studies. And like, sure, you can learn it again then, but it's gonna waste your time. Whereas you should have just remembered it in the first place. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Like I remember there are certain things I don't know. My history teacher actually, who taught me the history of medicine, she would she had like this repetition thing, and she'd make us do like it was like every 2 weeks we'd have a test, right?
Yeah.
And it would go over like, so it was just the first 2 weeks, then and then the next 2 weeks later it would be all the same questions from the first 2 weeks plus whatever we'd learned from then, you know. And then it was like all the questions from those 4 weeks, and then some more, and like you kept going over and going over the same thing with the repetition and spacing
Yeah,
it out. And it was actually really effective because I can like remember almost everything from that, even though it was like years and years ago.
yeah. Mm.
Yeah. I mean, as well, like, if you ever tried to like memorize the periodic table or something, because how I did it, I learnt like the first four, like hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, and then I would keep saying that to myself, and then the next day I learned boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and like I kept doing it. I mean, we're getting a bit off topic here, but it is quite good for memorizing things for sure. Yeah.
I never
Uh,
tried to memorize the periodic table entirely.
yeah.
I just memorize. I never memorize like where things are on it. I just memorize. I just know the names of the most important elements, like the chemical symbols, and like, you know, like for example, gold is among the heaviest and stuff like that. Like you should know some of the basic chemical properties of like the important ones, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think most people do. Most people that did at least halfway well in high school chemistry know that.
Yeah, yeah. Moving back onto the zombies. So just briefly in Dead Ops Arcade, I wouldn't even remember this, except the zombies community actually discovered something significant. You know how in on PC you move backwards more slowly,
Yeah.
and that was thought to be a roughly equal offset to the worse camera control and stuff on console.
Mhm.
Well, the zombies community actually discovered that if you load up a game of Dead Ops Arcade and you quit out of that and load up zombies, you move backwards at normal speed on PC.
Okay.
Because like there was this whole controversy. People used to say playing on PC uh, isn't legit because of like various stupid reasons. Like Irakimov used to say this, uh, but but what people used to do was they used to mod their games. They have normal backwards movement speed, right? And console diehards would say that it's not legit because you've modified the game from how it originally existed, you know. But
Okay.
there was actually just a little workaround that was discovered. If you load up a game of Dead Ops Arcade and then quit out of Dead Ops Arcade but keep the game running and then load up zombies, you'll move backwards at normal speed. So that's just
Right.
yeah, a little side note about Dead Ops Arcade. There's no other reason to ever play it.
I mean, I think honestly, this is another side. Like we've been playing MTA a lot, right?
Yeah,
And I think this sort of thing shows why open source games, especially, are a good idea, especially if you're going to get competitive, because like the original developers have just left so many bugs in it. I mean, this
yeah,
is with like almost every game. Eventually, tons of bugs and special glitches are discovered. I mean, like look at I'm a big fan of the Elder Scrolls and Fallout games. Look at those. Like like they're basically unplayable without the unofficial patches, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
after the developer considers the game completed and issues the very last patch. I mean, like only a fool would consider it completed. There's so much stuff still broken, you know.
yeah, yeah. You're right. But I was just wanted to say about Dead Ops Arcade as well. Is it actually the true red pill? Because like you don't spend 70 hours, you know, doing things no one cares about. It's like it's very casual, you know. You just
It's a good arcade game if you're into arcade games.
yeah, yeah. I
I
actually
mean,
think that it's more of a red pill. You know, you just play it and you have a laugh. It's not taken seriously. You know.
there's more established arcade games though, and like ones that are more more fleshed out, aren't there? Though, I mean, like, if you're gonna be into arcade games, there's more fleshed out ones,
Yeah.
you know. So I don't know, but yeah, it is decent. It doesn't deserve the hate it used to get.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna stop the recording real. We were talking about Dead Ops Arcade, but moving on from that, my favorite map. I don't know about you. My favorite map is Ascension. Um, this will always be the king of maps for me, to be honest. I like the fact that it has the T gun. I like the fact it has traps. It was the last map to have traps in.
Hmm.
Um, I I like almost everything. The only thing I don't like is that monkeys can sometimes one hit your quick revive, which was annoying. But yeah, but I like the fact that they have boss rounds. Like I don't like the maps that don't have boss rounds. I like the fact that it has traps. I like that there's a plurality of strategies. Like on Ascension, you can actually run traps. I mean, I have 176 on Ascension running traps,
Hmm.
which I really enjoyed playing that game actually. But you can also run T gun. You could, if you wanted to, you could run Spawn. You can run Pack a Punch. Do you know what I mean? There was a real plural. I can't even say the word plurality of strategies, which I think you don't get that on a lot of maps really. Like where there are multiple viable strategies. Like you can get
Yeah.
a 200 running traps, and you can get a 200 running Pack a Punch, which I think is great.
Running back a bunch.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I mean, there were even like variations on the Pack a Punch strategy. Like there was like a meme one, wasn't there, where you only ran inside the Pack a Punch machine itself, like in
Oh.
that room. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I have actually. I think I've seen a clip of that. But isn't Pack a Punch like the slowest strat? I thought the better T gun one. Didn't people used to run Spawn?
In co-op,
I'm
they
a bit
well, people
confused.
did both. People did both.
Alright. Just because, isn't Pack-a-Punch relatively slow?
It's like the one that everyone used to run was 20 seconds per horde.
Okay.
Um,
That's decently fast, right?
yeah, that was pretty fast. But there was this whole debate about. It went on for years. I remember this. There's this guy called the Zombie Project COD, who always was like advocate for spawn, and we sort of came to the conclusion that that they're about the same speed. Um, but the thing is, Pack Punch was faster then because you would when you need to pack punch your gun when you're running spawn, you have to run all the way to the pack punch machine, pack a punch it, and then run all the way back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which takes like 2 minutes. Whereas if you were running your strat at pack punch, you didn't need to do that. So the pack punch was faster, but
Right.
like
Yeah.
even faster than that is the meme pack a punch strategy, which is really dangerous. But you don't even go outside the room, and it's like 2 seconds faster or something. And then you can also run power as well. If you stay in the power room and you have the door that goes down to Mule Kick closed, you could actually run that strategy, which is even faster than
Run-
than running spawn or running pack punch.
Running power is really dangerous, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. You won't last long running power. I mean, saying that, I think some people have had some games where they ran power,
Hmm.
but it's
Yeah,
not
I
for
would.
me. I mean,
Yeah.
well, my favorite thing to do when I did my 176 was that I ran traps. I ran double trap, and I wouldn't even use the T gun because this was like maximum safety for me. Like you had the full T gun, and then if a zombie ever jumped in front of you, you didn't have to worry about it. You just shot it, right? Because you were
Yeah.
running traps with a full T gun, so that was like really safe, and I enjoyed that. I like strategies where you build points, um, and I like having the safety net of a full T gun. So that was really fun. I used to love doing that. I mean, in in solo I did 176. In co-op, we played a game on Ascension, right? And
Yeah.
I remember this shit because I was having a new kitchen installed, so I had to go to my grandma's every day, right? So I remember
Yeah.
you soloed like 13 rounds while I was at my grandma's house having dinner.
Yeah. 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 And then in the end, we died when I failed doing a sleeper.
Yeah, we were trying to set up a sleeper, and like I had to go for some reason, and you died to like one zombie, right?
Yeah, it was really fucked up.
At the end of 91. Um, yeah, so we played that game, and then like literally like 3 weeks later, Sirius was like, oh no, I think it was the other way around. Sirius was begging me to do a 70, so I did a 70, and then like literally like within 2 or 3 weeks, I did that 91 game, and then I left Ascension for a long time, and then I actually have the no revive world record on Ascension. I'm not sure if you know this. Uh,
No, didn't know that.
Me and this guy Nelly, um, in late 2018, we played a no revive game on Ascension, and we got to I think it was 101 or 102, something like that.
Damn, it's actually very. That's very good. What without a single doubt.
No, not no down, no revive.
What? So you didn't revive him and just like kept playing around, or what?
Yeah. So like I think I died like 4 times and he died 2 times or something.
All right.
But I was playing on ping because he's Canadian. Um, but yeah, so what happens is when he died, I wasn't allowed to revive him, so I would have to run traps with the crossbow. And then when he respawned, he had to trade out a T-gun.
Right. Okay.
And that
Well.
took like that took like 2 days. But yeah, Ascension is a great map. I would say it's my favorite. It's my most played as well. Like I like the fact that there's a plurality of strategies. I mean, I had uh, or almost had. I can't remember if I actually got it or not. The first room record on Ascension as well, actually. In co-op, I did like 40 something like that. I think I did 40 or 39 something like that. It was years ago. I did it with the Nano Necks, and then I think like the same day. After I finished my game, before I uploaded it, someone uploaded a round that had beat us by like one round.
One round, like the next day.
Yeah, yeah. So I think they had like
Crazy.
started playing the game like at the same time as us, and they did
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
one round better than we did. So like I possibly had the world record, but not officially for a few hours. Um, but yeah, I mean the first room was great on Ascension. I mean No Power was pretty fun as well on Ascension. It was just, in my opinion, it was the best map ever made.
I mean, I think a lot of people would agree with you. I still think Kino's better, but I can see why you like it. I mean, it's not bad. I do like it. I just prefer Kino. It's probably my second favorite.
Yeah. Moving on to one of the lesser played maps, of course, is Call of the Dead, which honestly, I think I have like 60 on this map. Uh, but like, I mean, just the obvious problems is that there's no wonder weapon, right?
I never
I
liked
mean,
the
in
map.
solo there's no wonder weapon, but in co-op there is because you
Yeah,
can shoot the other guy with the gun. I can't remember what it's called.
yeah,
'Cause
it's like the only map where you'll get a higher co-op round than solo, right?
yeah, yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I didn't like George Romero. I just thought like I didn't think, oh, that's so fun. I just found it fucking annoying.
Yeah, it's really annoying. There's no point in that, and just like the beach, running the beach is just awful. And like, don't you even get lag on PC on that map, or am I misremembering things? Am
No,
I
I
just
think
mixed
I think you
up?
remember that correctly. I think it was like badly optimized, and I think that like the whole map was being rendered at once, and like it was. Do you know what I mean? There was like really long distances, and I think it was actually the snow effects as well. The game like
Yeah, I
couldn't handle
remember
the
this.
lots
Unless
of
you had like
individual entities. Yeah.
yeah, unless you had like a supercomputer, it would make your entire it would lag like really bad.
Yeah, yeah,
So it was incredibly badly optimized. The whole map was always rendered. Which like imagine that because it's actually one of the larger maps, I think, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. It is. Yeah,
So imagine the fact that everything going on the entire map, with particle effects everywhere, right,
yeah.
always being rendered. It's ridiculous. Like that would any PC be one day when people have maybe in like 5 or 10 years.
So what was this thing about Call of Duty? Yeah, yeah. So it was terribly optimized, but there was also the thing with when George Romero respawned in the map. I think that there were only 23 zombies at once, which made it even worse. Because you know how you had to kill them like one horde at a time with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ray
yeah.
gun or something, but you're only shooting 23 instead of 24.
Yeah, so it's slightly less efficient.
Yeah, that was really annoying. The fact that it's impossible to do high rounds in solo because there's no wonder weapon. Like you would end up using a ray gun, and yeah, it was just a terrible map, and I hated it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I don't think there's more to be said there. I agree.
yeah. I never. Yeah. Yeah, so next is Shangri La, right? Uh,
Good
yeah.
map. Good
You
map.
like Shang, do you? Tell me about Shangri La, because I've probably only played this literally like 10 times.
Shangri-La. God. I mean, I just like the feel of it. I like the environment. I just think it's a very pretty map. It looks good. I find there's the perk monkeys on it, isn't there? I find those fun. I like the Wonder Weapon. That's like gimmicky and stuff, and it looks interesting. Like it looks really weird and makes a fun noise and everything. Um, I mean, it has a lot of perks
It
as
does
well,
have a lot
doesn't
of
it?
perks. This was, I mean, so did Call of the Dead to be fair, but yeah, it has a lot of perks. You're right. It has like Deadshot Daiquiri and like, which I think was useless on PC.
Yes, but it was a stamina map. So you could get like Jog Quick Revive, Stamina, and Speed Cola, right? Or PhD Flopper.
Yeah, yeah.
And had a really long Easter egg. Well, I frankly don't care about Easter eggs, but I just like the whole look and feel of the map. It was very much the map that I don't know. In the beginning, I got like an uncomfortable feeling. It's like it's weird. It's like kind of scary in a weird way. The map is.
Oh really?
It like
I always was scared by Varut. Like when I on World at War, Varut fucking terrified me as a kid.
it was always a very stressful map. Also like the fire zombies, right? That's terrifying when that spawns.
Yeah, yeah, and I really didn't like it. Like they really annoyed me when I used to play that map. And you go around the corner, and there's that fucking thing, and it would blow up, and it like might down you or something. It was awful.
What's the thing again where you can get infinite rounds on Shang? Basically, like you can reset on Shang. How do you do it again with the baby zombies? Like there's something you have to do, isn't there, to avoid G spawning?
Yeah, okay. So you can only have like was it like 160 zombies re-go on you the entire game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
So
it? All you have to do is just stop regrowth.
yeah, so but 160 over a game when you're killing what like tens of thousands of zombies isn't a lot, you know.
No.
Like if you accidentally fire the baby gun or something, you have to kill them, basically.
Yeah, it
Otherwise,
required you to be. It required you to be a perfectionist.
yeah,
It basically means you can't use the baby gun until you start running the strategy,
yeah,
or
yeah,
at least you have to be extremely careful.
yeah, yeah. I just had I don't know. Maybe I'm just shit, right? But I had many bad experiences with the baby gun. I would like shoot the baby gun, and like miss one zombie or something, and then like I wouldn't feel comfortable running into them because that guy's there. And
How are you supposed to kill them again with the baby gun? You just use like what? Get PhD flop and use Mustang and Sally or something.
yeah, or like because the Centex wall buy was like right next to it.
Yeah, use
Uh,
Semtex.
yeah, yeah. Lots of people used to use the Centex. I remember there were like multiple strategies. Like there was three different ways that you could run the AK route, but I really like the one where you go all the way back into the M16 area, and it was like much smoother than having to do the thing with multiple cutbacks. You know?
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get you. Well, it's a good map. It's a good map, and the fact that you can actually get, to reset, um, is pretty cool. So, are you serious? That's all you have to do? I thought there was more to it or something. Okay.
Yeah. To
Well,
avoid the G spawn, that's what you have to do. Yeah.
right, fair enough.
I
Only
used
kind of bad thing. I'm just gonna say, only kind of bad thing is there's no what's it called? There's no
traps.
special round, and no traps.
Yeah. There's no special round. There's no traps. Those are really annoying. Yeah. I really like maps that have traps on them. Um,
Mm.
I really, I don't know. I also, yeah, it gets so monotonous when there's no thing and there's no guaranteed max ammo. I really don't like that.
Yeah.
I find some of the trade outs on that map were annoying as well. Like if you're doing a mid round trade out in some of the locations, I don't like it. Like sometimes I would miss the gun.
Would you say that um you would have to put you would have to get the wonder weapon for 3179. You would have to pack a punch it immediately because unpack a punch they regrow in 5 seconds and pack a punch in 15. So it's best to just immediately pack a punch it to not risk it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause you just don't want to risk it. You don't want to risk G spawns. You might as well just pack a punch it right away. Because otherwise, like 5 seconds. I mean, that is not enough.
Yeah, yeah. It's
It's gonna
I don't
be
understand how they can have such a fatal error on like their the gimmick gun of the map. I feel like they should have looked into that.
No, I totally get it. I totally get it. It's because if you're programming something like this, you're not thinking of people playing it to like absurd 100+ rounds, right? You're thinking of the average player, and they did probably do play testing, and they would have never caught this just playing normally. If you just play the map, normally and do the Easter egg and stuff, you would never catch this.
Hmm.
So it does make sense to me, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I was just gonna say, like somewhere, I assume the game sort of keeps track of the number of entities that have been spawned in, right?
Mhm.
The fix would be so easy, right? Like you just have it reset regularly, like just a counter as soon as it reaches 100 entities, it just resets. Like it's a lack of garbage collection, really, is what
Yes.
that's called in programming. It's a lack of garbage collection.
Yeah, I mean
It is
that's why
what
we
it
get
is.
reset at all. Is 'cause it keeps counting
Yeah,
entities, right? 20 times a second.
yeah. Just need garbage collection.
Yeah. Moving on, like I didn't play Shank much. I think I played it once with like Jug. I got like 60 something co-op. I have like 90 solo on it, but I don't have any love for the map at all.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, Moon. Um, it was really cool that you could like go to Earth and you could go back to the moon. I like that. I didn't like the fact that the Jug and the Speaker alternated. And like if you went
I like
down,
Moon.
sometimes you'd have to play like 2 rounds without Jug until you can get the fucking thing to respawn. That really annoyed me.
I thought Moon was a great map with the exception of the astronaut.
Oh my god. When you would throw a Gersh device and the astronaut would get stuck moving really fast in the Gersh animation.
That's awful. Yeah, I mean, they just shouldn't have had him. Like, he was just a great. He
Yeah.
shouldn't be there. Like, would the map just honestly be better even for casual players if there was no astronaut?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was just annoying. And the thing is, as well, he has 4 times the health of whatever a zombie has on that round, right?
Yeah,
So after like round like 40 or something, he's just not killable.
yeah, because the moon gun doesn't work on him, does it?
The moon gun doesn't work on him. Uh, so like after like the 40s. Oh, this is the other thing as well, right? But it doesn't reset until you kill him. So you get like 1 free astronaut in the game. If you leave the round 1 astronaut, and then like let's say he grabs you, you can just like knife him or something and he'll die because
Yeah,
it's a round 1 astronaut. But if you are on like 70 or something and the astronaut's there, there's no way you can ever kill him. Basically, it would require like multiple ray guns to kill him.
what was the best way to get rid of him? Would you say like glitching him in stone?
Yeah,
Like
you
the
just
problem
glitch him
there,
in the biodome, don't you?
but he couldn't get unglitched there, can't he?
Yeah, I mean, there was other shit you could do as well. Like what I always used to do was at the start of the round, I'd kill him, and at the start of the round, jump around on the pads, right? And if you were like in midair, floating between the pads, when he spawned, he would be stuck.
Yeah, but he could become unglitched. I remember this.
Yeah, he can be.
Wasn't
Yeah, if you like go
was
near him and he manages to like do a grab animation, then he gets unstuck. But
wasn't
yeah,
the
what you
best?
could do is use the excavators, and he
Yeah,
can't get unstuck from that.
yep. You just use the excavators. That's like the most surefire way to deal with him, right? Like he's just done once you do that.
Yeah, uh, God, that was really obnoxious though. Like, what the excavator thing? Like, was it? What was the like kayfabe like reason for that? Was it a zombie was fucking driving it or something? Like, it was.
Something like that. Something stupid like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we
Um,
can't talk about Moon without talking about the one window strat.
that is the most optimal way to play Moon. Like, what are you doing if you're not doing it for one window strat? But seriously, though, I think it's devs. Like, people call it cheating. I don't think it is. It's not like you're hacking. It's not like you're modifying the game code. It's not like you're using outside, programs or whatever. All you're doing is shooting a ray gun at a zombie spawn point.
Yes.
And for some reason, if you do that enough, they stop spawning from it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you trap the astronaut. Like, how is that? You're not doing anything out of the ordinary, really. You're just shooting at a wall with a ray gun.
Yeah, I mean, it has happened to me accidentally that I've been shooting at a roof spawn point and I've fucked that spawn point for the rest of the game. Like that has happened to me, like accidentally. So you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It could easily happen. That if you were in that room, let's say, and you were holding the window and they're coming and you're shooting at that with a ray gun, like it could feasibly happen.
Yes. No, it's just a sign of how badly made some of the maps are. I mean, you really have to appreciate like how little effort went into a lot of this, at least in the programming sense. Yeah, like how little bug checking they did. It feels like everything was done very hastily,
Well, yeah,
like
they're
with
probably
very
on
little.
some sort of breakneck schedule to get that thing released. Like they probably had like
Yes,
2 months from start to finish for that, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And zombies was still an afterthought. Like for most people, the main selling point was, as it always is with COD, the multiplayer. Zombies was just, a bonus thing, but it was never the main focus. So they just had to get it done. It's a lot less polished than the multiplayer. Although, now that I mention it, the multiplayer on Black Ops is not very well made either.
Yeah, I don't know, the movement on that, it feels so fucking clunky. Like I guess there was some problem with you like falling through objects if you climb on them. So they made
Yeah.
it so you like can like hardly climb on anything. Yeah.
Yes. The movement felt clunky. Hit detection was always bad. Knifing people often didn't work the way it should. Some other stuff, like just the netcode generally was bad. Like even on a perfect connection, you'd lag a lot.
Yeah,
It was not good.
yeah, the shotguns were really bad as well. I remember the stakeout. He would always
Well,
like
they
hit
were
marker them.
unusable.
Yeah.
No, they were unusable, and the snipers were also awful.
Oh
Just
yeah, you would
because
always hit marker, wouldn't you? It was awful.
yeah, they overcompensated for stuff like not akimbo, for the like really long knifing on the MW2.
Yeah.
They compensated for that by making knifing useless. They compensated for quick scoping by making snipers useless. They compensated for the shotguns by making shotguns useless, and they compensated for danger claws by making the grenade launchers, the underslung ones, just also totally useless. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically a game where the only thing you can really do is shoot at each other with assault rifles in multiplayer. There's nothing else you can really do.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing as well is that remember in Modern Warfare 2, shotguns were secondary weapons, right?
Yes,
Yeah. But like if you had akimbo Model 1887s, you'd like one shot anyone with that, right? If you press both at the same time. But
of course.
yeah, yeah. On Black Ops, that it's a primary weapon, and it would be like a two-hit kill with most of the shotguns.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that very well.
Yeah, if I
And
also
that's
remember, it didn't. If you have a shotgun, it doesn't have a headshot multiplier as well, which is what made it worse.
also Akimbo was in the game, wasn't it? It was just really bad. Or am
Yeah,
I
akimbo
remembering?
was in the game, but I don't think you could get like akimbo stakeouts, for instance.
No, but like Akimbo pistols were really bad, I think. Whereas in MW2 they were actually useful.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even like akimbo G18s in Modern Warfare 2 were insane, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a viable shotgun alternative. Double shred anyone at close range. You will win every close range fight with that, basically.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
just for pure DPS is just stupid.
yeah. Anyway, going back to Moon, um, I don't know. I feel like they were ambitious, should I say? They tried lots of different things. Like they tried the hacking, the hacker. I think that was a pretty cool thing, right? Where you could hack the wall guns and you could hack a door.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you
I
can
also
hack.
like the glitch that you could do with the hacker. Like there was a thing where if you, I'm not sure if you knew this, if you dive off the map at the
Yeah,
start of the round, like 3 times or something, you can eventually not need a helmet, so you can always have the hacker.
yeah, yeah. I remember that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, the whole map, in my opinion, was ruined by this fucking debate between like is astronaut legit? Like without astronaut, is that legit? You know?
Dude, who cares, man? I mean, like, I would say it is like as long as you're not using like a trainer, a hacking tool. How can you cheat?
Yeah.
You're
So
still infringing
is
the
that
game.
your view on Black Ops Zombies? Like, if as long as you don't use an external fucking thing or modify game files, it's legit.
I would say so because if you look at like speedrunning, for instance,
Yeah.
um, like all the top speedruns make extensive use of glitches. And I think what some people in the Black Ops community are implying is that using glitches means you're less skilled. Well, no. You have to actually be skilled to first of all know about these glitches, and second of all, a lot of them are actually very hard to do. Like you
Yeah,
have
I
to
agree with that.
reliably pull off these to know about and then reliably pull off these glitches actually means that you have far more knowledge of the game and its mechanics than the casual player. If you look at speedrunners, they often pull off glitches that are very hard to pull off, um, and everybody considers that legit because it's just that's how you do it. That's how you beat the game very quickly, and other people can do the glitches too. I mean, what's wrong with glitching the astronaut? It's not like it's not like you're the only one that can do it. It's not like you have to install hacking software. anyone is welcome to it.
Yeah, yeah, and there was also what was it, No Man's Land as well, right? Which people used to run as like its own category, whereas how many kills
Yes.
you get in No Man's Land. Which
Mm.
honestly, like that was just over my head. I mean, I think I did it once and got like almost 300 kills, like on a good run that I did. Um, but I really like people used to reset that and like you constantly reset it. It was too much RNG, and people would like slowly edge the. I think did someone get 400 kills? I seem to recall eventually.
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, so many people cheated in No Man's Land as well, which is really stupid because it's really easy to keep track of how much health they have depending on how many beeps they've been. But loads of people, like Wings for instance, and some other people used modded Sallies.
Yeah. Yeah. No Man's Land. It's cool though. That it's like an extra element to the map. It's like two maps in one almost.
Yeah, yeah. I just really didn't like that if you like you were playing co-op and you took her down, then like you would have to play like a round and a half or 2 rounds without Jug. I
Yeah.
just really didn't like that. It was awful.
True. True.
Although I do like no power on Moon. Although it was odd because like you can still go to Earth, right? I think without power, and you can still like get some of the perks. But the trouble was you couldn't use the hacker. So the early rounds on no power were fun on Moon for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the the classic maps. We have Nacht der Untoten.
The purest map. Right.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, honestly, I I've never, I think, or maybe only like once or twice, had a high round attempt on this map.
I never. I think. No, I never have. No. It's too hard. It's extremely hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can anyone that gets 100 on that.
yeah, I mean, I've done first rooms on this like countless times. I think it has arguably the best first room.
I agree.
Yeah.
It does. Definitely.
I mean, I at one point
No
actually had the
Kino
world
first
record
room.
on this. I had 32 first room on Nathan and Toten, which was a world record. It's
Kino
not anymore.
first room is also very good though.
Oh yeah, Kino first room is good. I mean, I know what's his name, Nelly and Dabos. They have played like probably hundreds of hours of that first room, perfecting everything. I remember playing with them. I think you did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So
fun.
Nacht. There's not a lot to be said. I mean, it's just what you, the box, the zombies, and you get a thunder gun. But there's no traps. There's no pack a punch. There's no special rounds. There's not even perks. It's just very purist.
Yeah, I mean, there is one thing about it. There's a zone within a zone. Like, I'm not sure if you remember this, but in the first room of Nacht, if you stood on like the embankment near the door that says "Help," right?
Yeah.
That is a zone within a zone. So if you stood there and you had that help door open at the start, when they're spawning, it's a zone within a zone, so they wouldn't spawn in the box room.
Okay. Well,
Uh,
so yeah, was that the strat then? You just stand there and then train them out and kill them.
yeah, yeah. So the fastest strategy on that map, no one used to do it because it's a fucking dodgy map. But the fastest strat is to stand in that zone within a zone. So they all spawn in the spawn room, and then you walk into the box room. You do like a small loop and walk back.
Yeah.
And what people used to do on for high rounds is they would do like some strategy where you like walk all around the map and hold them up and spawn and all this sort of shit, and it was really slow. But
Mm.
the fastest strat was actually something else, utilizing zone within the zone, and something else as well. In the clock tower on grandfather clock, there's a scoped Car 98K, which for some reason, due to the addition of a scope, does more damage.
Okay.
There's the Car
I
98K in the map, and then there's inside the grandfather clock. There's a scoped Car 98K that does like 3 times the damage.
does actually.
It does, yeah.
Christ. Well, I mean, I guess technically it is a different gun, right?
Yeah,
Technically.
yeah.
Well, let's see what else is there then.
I mean, that's it for Nacht, really. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it. It's a very hard map. I've played the first room countless times and beaten world records, but I think my highest round in co-op on Nacht is 30 that I did with my cousin on an Xbox 360 split screen like 10 years ago when the game first came out. We
So what
did
about
we did 30 every map. Yeah. Here you go.
so what so what about Varuk then?
Of Root. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I like this map more than most people like this map.
It's the least appreciated Black Ops map,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. I mean, they. I don't know. People
Nobody
know.
likes it.
Yeah, that I like slow strategies, right?
Yeah.
So I used to really love running one trap on this. I don't know.
It's by far. Is it harder than Nacht? No,
No, it's not harder than Nacht.
but it is hard. The
Yeah,
hardest after Nacht, right?
maybe
Would you
after
say?
5 as well. I don't know.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah. Probably goes Nacht 5 and then Varuk.
Yeah, the
It is
main
the
problem
top.
is that the central courtyard is one massive zone, and there was like the autistic thing with the windows. That if
Yes.
you uh, they had like a weird algorithm for how they would prioritize what window to go to, depending on how many boards were on certain windows, and like how far you were ahead. Like if you were moving towards a zone, they would like run ahead of you, but would prioritize the window depending on how many boards were on the window. They would like try to get in through the path of least resistance. So what you had to do was put a board on the Thompson window, or like one board on one of them, and then two boards on the other, to like so it would prioritize the other window or something. But the thing is, it only worked about 90% of the time.
Man, why is it that it really feels like they tried to reinvent the wheel with every single zombies map? Like they really tried something new. They really tried to like fuck with the way the zombie spawning works, so like put in a new wonder weapon. Like they just really tried to. They just changed things up massively every time. Even though, and well, not even though, but like this is I think what causes them to feel so unfinished because they were constantly trying new things. I mean, it's interesting in a sense, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
how different they all are.
yeah, yeah.
They
And
all have a totally different character.
for some reason as well, Varut it had the Winter's Howl in it, right? Like it didn't
Yes.
have a wonder weapon. There was no pack punch, but it had the Winter's Howl in, even though it's not even a wonder weapon, right? Because it doesn't even kill them past like round 50 or something. You would use a full Winter's Howl.
It's still nice to get early on though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, early on it was good. I really liked it actually, in as well because in early rounds you could run some really dodgy strats. Like you could like run speed curler, right? Try and camp in there, that sort of thing, and then go to the Thompson room. I really liked that there was like a defined mid game, like early game, mid game, and late game strat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of love for Root. I played the one trap a lot. I did like what was it? I did like 70, 80, 90. I died a few times running one trap in the 90s because of this bullshit with the stairs. But like I remember I would like watch university lectures or like videos on my second monitor just while running one trap, and I used to find it really fun.
Well, because it's so like it takes so long and it's so easy.
Yeah, it's really easy. But you just had to pay attention like once a minute when you ran down those stairs. I mean, there was even that strat, and then there was the double trap, and then there was my strat that I made the night called the fancy wave strategy. When I was playing with Joker, and I did 63 on 360 pink, and I was
Jesus,
flawless into the 50s.
damn, that is impressive.
Yeah, I made a really slow, safe strategy.
A 360 ping. I mean, that's like worse than like a satellite uplink.
Yeah,
That is insane.
I mean, I'm playing with Joker, who's Australian, right? So yeah.
I feel like it's worse than it should be though. Like it's still worse than it should be. I feel like he also just doesn't have good internet. Maybe, and yeah, didn't used to be on Wi-Fi as well, so it was even worse than it had to be.
Yeah, yeah, it was even worse than it had to be.
Yeah, yeah,
I think we were both on Wi-Fi, and he had shit internet.
yeah. Because I was just thinking, like, really, somebody on cable in Europe and somebody on cable in Australia shouldn't get more than like 200 ping to each other. I think it was much worse because of you guys both being on Wi-Fi with bad internet.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was actually way worse than it should be. But I digress.
Yeah, man, I like that because there was on that map again. There was also a diversity of strategies. There was the Space Marine strat. There was the strat where you ran between Thompson trap and um, the double trap, and you go between them, like sort of one by Pishizora and 5 and 5 when they did their 70 game. There was a strategy where you walked around the map and used both traps, and then there was the one trap strategy. There was that strat. There was the 5 and 5 strategy. I mean, there's like a million different ways to hoard up and kill them with one of the traps or both the traps.
Yeah.
That's the essence of the map, right? You hoard up somewhere and you take them to one of the traps. But yeah, I gotta say, I really do like the route. Maybe it's nostalgia, but I really enjoyed it.
I mean, it's a good map. I think maybe I just never gave it the time I should have. But
Yeah,
it's a good map.
yeah. I will say though, black marks against it. No bonus round, and no proper wonder weapon. Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same with a wonder weapon though, because then you'd probably find some way to run the map that's faster than using traps with a wonder weapon. You know, at least possibly. Though nah, probably not, because you'd have to trade out, wouldn't you? Yeah, even if there was a wonder weapon, people would still run traps, wouldn't they? Because you'd have to trade.
Yeah, it'd just be a little safer because the trouble is as well, you got monkeys on that map, but you could never replenish it after like 60.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really
sure.
bad. Yeah,
You got free monkeys for like the entire game then.
yeah, yeah. And it's like it wasn't like on some of the other maps you could like get like dolls and then um get the monkeys back, but you couldn't even do that because there was only one type of special grenades. So you couldn't even trade them out. Yeah,
Yeah. So what? There's only 2 more maps, right?
yeah. Yeah. So
Shinonuma
next is
Village.
Shinonuma, which I gotta say I really love this map actually.
I like it more than Varuk the Noct. It's one of the better maps, I'd say. I think it's very chill. 'Cause it's don't you run like the safest strat, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've run quite a few strategies on this. I mean, I've played uh, 3 games of of Shinonuma Solo, right? I shit you not.
Yeah.
I got Black Ops on PC. I played Shinonuma, and I got 100 on my very first attempt.
Jesus. I mean, is it the easiest map, honestly? Like for noobs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I did like that terrible strategy that Pishizor did, where it took him 4 days to get 135. I did the same thing, 2 days to 100. Where you start in spawn, right? You run down towards the flogger, but you don't activate it, and then you wait for all the zombies to catch up. You like jump through the swamp, and then like gain ahead of them, run back towards the flogger, activate the trap, and then run back to spawn.
Yeah.
It was like something like a minute and 15 seconds per horde. But yeah, that was really safe, and that's exactly what I did to get 100 on my very first attempt. Because you just make sure they always spawn in the spawn room. They never spawn anywhere else, and then they never in that entire strategy, like you could do it without getting hit, because the zombies are always behind you, and like at no point are they ever at any risk of getting ahead of you. It's just really slow. That's the only downside to
Yeah.
that strategy, really. So I did that, and then I did my famous 153 game in December 2013. This is actually when I met you around the same time. It
Okay.
was actually when I was playing that game, I remember, and you were coming in TeamSpeak telling me to run no dogs on on Darius. Um, yeah, I remember that. I was sort of, I think I was in Zek, and then I switched to being Zombie Whisperer because they invited me to Zombie Whisperers
Yeah, like mid game, right?
mid game. Yeah, because everyone thought I was getting the world record because this was back in the day when people didn't think that you could get reset on PC. So I was just going to
Yeah.
run this asinine slow strategy and take like half a year and get it. But they didn't realize that it, if the game had gone on for like another day, I would have been reset anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but what I did was, yeah, I ran the 5-and-5 strategy of that game, which is slightly faster. I think it's 50 seconds per horde, or it might be 45. I think 50. Um, which is a lot faster. I got to 153. Then I had a power cut, and for me that was the last straw. Um, like the next, it was actually on Christmas Eve, I think. But like after Christmas, I got an uninterruptible power supply on your advice because I was like
Yes.
fuming that that I had a power cut because for some reason I used to get a lot of power cuts.
I think everyone should have one. I really I don't see why it's not a standard thing to have. I mean, like computers, even today, they used to be much worse, many years ago. But even today, still, computers generally do not like being suddenly switched off, right?
Hmm.
It can corrupt your file system. Any unsaved files are lost. Worst case scenario, you lose some unsaved work and have to reinstall your OS. So like I just don't see why not everyone uses them because they're only like €100 and they last for years.
Yeah, yeah, I mean I've had this one since what like January 2014, and it's
Yeah, they're
still
not
fine.
that expensive either, are they?
No, no, I mean I didn't pay for it anyway, but I paid for it.
I think mine cost me like €110 or something, and I've lasted a few years now. I mean, like they do die eventually. The batteries in them die. You have to get a new one, but no more than 4 or 5 years, and I think they're worth it. I mean, I live in a really old building that gets power cuts, like just momentary ones. Like
Yeah,
my power will go off for like 5 seconds, maybe once every day or two. Which, if you don't have a computer, you don't care, but if you do have one, it's very annoying.
yeah, yeah. What I was going to say as well, I actually, after getting my 153, which was the PC world record, I remember even the Frenzy was watching my stream because he was
Hmm.
like shitting it that I was going to beat his record because like no, like I was running an easy strategy, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's going to beat it." Like, there's no question. Um, so I actually after that game, I went back to Shinonuma and I also got the no jug world record. Do you know about this? Like, what round do you think I got on no jug on Shinonuma?
I don't remember, like, I don't know, like 50? Because it's easy? More? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I got 73.
Damn. Okay. Ah, yeah, I do remember that. Yes, I do remember that. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. It's
It's quite high, even for Shinonuma.
yeah, yeah. What I did was I ran that strat of like the asinine Pishizor strategy where the zombies are always behind you and you never get hit. Um,
Yes.
but I was jumping through the swamp if I remember correctly, and somehow like a zombie had like respawned ahead of me or something and just hit me twice and I died.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah. So Shinonuma, I didn't like the fact that it had the randomized perks, so sometimes you'd have to restart. Um, But apart from that, I thought it was actually a great map. I really liked the flogger. The fact that there were diversity of traps. There wasn't just the bog standard electric trap that every other map has, right?
Yes. It was a very cool trap. It was very creative. It was just a very creative map, generally. There's no other map like it.
Yeah,
Um,
the
Big fan of it.
yeah the first room was a bit tight, but it was a very challenging first room. But I think what people used to do was play the game like in Steam offline mode, so the mule kick didn't spawn in the first room, so you had more space.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I used to do anyway. Yeah, it's a great map. I don't have a bad word to say about Shinonuma, to be honest. Like, it had a wonder weapon, it had bonus rounds, or boss rounds, which is good.
So, they're resistant.
Yeah, or was it Deriza?
There is a.
Yeah.
There is a. Or
Yeah,
dare ice, like people used to say.
yeah.
Sometimes at least.
This map, actually, for me, was the first map that I got a good co-op round. I played in 2013. I played
Okay.
with the Mufos. This is before I before I even met you, I played with Mufos in like summer 2013, uh, and we did. I think it was 71 or even 73 co-op. I remember the world record at the time was only like in the 90s. So Mufos were like, "Oh, we're definitely going to get this right." This is
Hmm.
before people did sleepers in co-op games.
All right. So you
And
both got really tired.
yeah, we both got really tired, and it was like 2 or 3 a.m. or something, and we didn't know about sleepers, so we just decided to go to sleep.
It was one of the best maps, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll let you
I
talk
loved
about
the Wonder
Darius.
Weapon.
Yeah,
I loved the Wonder Weapon. It's just a lot of fun to use. I like the sound it makes. I like the way it looks. I like the way I like the animation when you first pick it up. I like how it reloads. The entire map, just the Darius circuit that you do is very fun. I'd say it's just a good map, and the Wonder Weapon has sort of a good balance between being OP like the Thunder Gun and between being useless. Like, it will save you, but it won't always save you. Like, if you really fuck up, it won't save you.
yeah, yeah. It was like precarious, wasn't it? Sometimes if you like zapped yourself, then you would go down in like 2 hits, right?
Yes,
Yeah. So yeah, it was like a double-edged sword, if you will.
you have to be careful with it. Yeah. So it was a map that required skill, but at the same time, it wasn't like extremely hard, and it was a lot of fun. I'd say.
Yeah,
Even like the Easter egg song on it was good. It was just a good map, and also has a good first room. There's nothing bad that I can really say about the race.
yeah. The only thing I didn't like, and I think you might resemble this remark, the mid-round dogs.
I was about to say that. No, the mid-round dogs can get annoying, but they don't kill the map for me. I still enjoyed the map.
Yeah, yeah. So if you guys didn't know, there is actually a strategy that's really fucking slow. It's like a minute and a half per horde.
No
Uh,
dogs.
on Reese, that the man that I'm talking to now, Plotprof, is a fervent advocate of running no dogs
I
on
don't even
Reese.
remember if I was memeing or not, honestly, bro. I legit don't remember if I was joking. I'm not sure.
You weren't joking. I remember it was so serious. You were like, I remember you being mad about like going down to dogs. And,
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm gonna run no dogs every
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, the dogs don't. They are the biggest threat on that map, aren't they?
They
Would you
they
agree?
really are. Yeah. Yeah, I'd have it where they'd like spawn ahead of you or something, and they'd like block you in a doorway. It was awful. Like I can
Yeah.
see why you ran no dogs. Yeah, I do like the fact that there was diversity of strategy in this map as well. Like I don't like maps where there is only one strategy, and like that's the only thing that's remotely viable. Like I mean, every strategy somehow involved the Thompson room, because it was one of the fastest ways to get them to spawn, because it only had they spawn in three things, right? Um, but there was the King Jack strat with Waff, where you would shoot the Waff. There was the King Jack strat without Wolf, without Waff. There was the Forest strategy, which is where you were in the Thompson room, right? And then when the trap turned off, you left, and you did 2 cutbacks in spawn. Then you came back immediately and used the uh, Tommy room trap again, right? Which is actually faster than the King Jack strat, if you don't consider the trade outs. So like in
I
the earlier rounds where you were using a waff, or if you have a new waff, you should probably run this. Because instead of using the other trap, you're only using the Thompson trap, and it means you're getting more waff zaps in, and you're getting extra kills, right?
yeah.
It's really
I think I ran the King Jack strat when I got my I around my 100 plus on it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've done both. I've run Forest and I've run the King Jack. I mean, there was also the King Jack strat. I'm not sure if you remember this. You might have been this might have been before your time, but there was a King Jack strat where you left the spawn door closed next to Thompson room, and you would like go around. And then
Hmm.
then it got modified where people would run through the middle, and then there was the two trap strategy, which was technically faster, but it was more dangerous, which is where you ran from Thompson room, and instead of using the other trap, because the other trap is actually really shit. In the King Jack strat, you waste a lot of time after you use that trap, and then you run all the way to double tap, and then you have to go down and back to Thompson room. You waste like 30 seconds there. So a faster strat is actually to run to the power trap, right? And then you kill them at the power trap, and then you run back to the Thompson room. Now that was really dangerous, and I did that once in a game to like 70 or something, and I died. But that was a fun strategy. So if you look at Darius, I think it actually had the most viable strategies. There were like, I think 7 or 8 different strategies that were under 30 seconds a horde, which is pretty crazy to think about, right?
That is extremely fast. Yeah. Was it the fastest map, or was it 5? Because wasn't 5 also incredibly fast?
Yeah. Okay, so 5, I think, is the fastest because it's also 20 seconds per horde, the same as Ascension, except you don't
Yeah.
have to trade out
Right.
because
So
you're
the
just
race
running
was the
traps. Yeah.
second fastest.
Yeah, Darius was pretty fast. Yeah. Um, by what metric do you measure the fastest map? Just the fastest per horde, or like because surely it would be like the highest round, but the resets are like variable and different things. I don't know.
I mean, I guess we could say like which map can you do round 100 on the fastest? You know, for example, that
Right.
would be a fair metric, right? Like playing optimally, how fast can you do round 100? Let's say
Yeah, I mean, even
that's a
Kino
good way to
might
measure
be
it.
up there, honestly. Uh,
Yeah, because then otherwise, automatically all non-special round maps would be slower, but that's not really true, right? Like maybe to a certain round, but not the rounds themselves. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean,
Necessarily.
Moon maybe even like if you do one window, like didn't it take us like 6 hours to 83 on one
Yes,
window? This
it's
is ridiculous.
extremely fast. It's extremely fast.
Didn't we work it out? Isn't it 6 seconds a horde or something?
Something like that, yeah,
Yeah.
it gets absolutely ridiculous. But doesn't the issue become running out of ammo?
Yes, we would spend like 3 minutes doing that, and then we'd have to spend like loads of time trading out on Moon.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we would also hack drops though a lot of the time.
yeah, that was dangerous though. Like you let them at the thing, you're throwing a Gersh, and then you have to like try and hack the drop, and they're already
Yeah,
spawning again.
yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah. Oh, but it's a really good map, the race.
Yeah, I mean, I
Really
was
good map.
always really weird on that map. I seem to be like one of the only people in the zombies community that refused to use Mule Kick.
Oh, the race.
Yeah,
I
I,
think it was a good map to use it.
yeah.
Oh,
Everyone used Mule Kick, but I hated it because like I don't know. I think too many times I'd had my Waff like stolen off me when I died, or
but it's basically necessary, isn't it?
yeah,
I
it
mean,
is. I mean, like I tried any way to make it work. Like what I would do is I would have double tap instead, and if I saw a dog, I would spam them with Thompson, and then I would Bowie knife them.
yeah.
Which that's why I only have like 120 on Darius. It's because of shit like that.
I mean, yeah. You need a points gun. You need something to get rid of the dogs, and you need the window offer.
Yeah, you see, what I tried to do was spam them with Thompson and then just knife them. I mean, it doesn't work that badly. You have to shoot them like 5 times, I think, and then you can Bowie knife the dog and it dies.
Dangerous though. It's
Yeah,
dangerous, especially because you're risking knife lunging, aren't you?
yeah, you are risking knife lunging. Yeah,
Like if knife lunging wasn't a thing, it wouldn't be nearly as bad, but it is a thing.
yeah. Or
Uh,
sometimes I would like try and avoid it. I would try and like walk around with the dogs, or I would like knife them twice or something. Yeah, I tried any way to make it work without using mule kick.
I don't even get the hate. I mean, what's so bad about mule dick? Mule kick. Mule kick. I always used it.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I seem to like consistently like lose the gun that I wanted to keep.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Well, you had to figure it out. You know, you had to plan in advance how you're gonna pick up guns, right?
Hmm.
But if you got the order right, I think it was an excellent perk. I think it was one of the best perks they ever added to zombies. I mean, compare it to Deadshot at least.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I think it's a good addition overall. I'm a fan of the perk. You just have to use it right. It does complicate the game, doesn't it? It does complicate it.
yeah, yeah.
I think it makes it better to have it be in the game than not, but you do have to be aware of it.
You know why the meal kit got put in the game actually?
Why is that?
It's because on World at War there was a glitch, actually. That
What, we can have 3 guns?
yeah, yeah, and everyone used to use it. It's where you pull out like you pull out a bouncing Betty, right? While the box
Yeah,
is spinning, and then you like start to put it away and pick up the gun at the same time, and then let you get 3 guns.
right.
And
Fair enough.
people used to do that, and they're like, "Why don't we just make it so you can get 3 guns with the perks?"
Yeah, if everybody wants it. I mean, it's probably one of the only examples of them really listening to the players, then, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I mean, there was also, I think you could keep it going as well on World at War. Is the thing though. Like, if I remember correctly, I'd like emptied the box once. Because on World at War, if you have a gun, I think the same on Black Ops, you can't get it again, right? If you end up with like loads of guns, I think that there's only 1 gun in the box.
Yes.
Like, yeah, the remaining one. So you could like put like a waff back in the box and then get it. But if you like fucked up the glitch, it would mess it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Doris, absolutely great map. So, what would be your rankings then? Like looking at all the maps, what would you from best to worst?
Uh, I need a list of maps in front of me. 1 second, just so I don't tell you wrong. Right. Best map. Well, my personal favorite, shall I say, is still Kino.
Yeah,
Just because I consider it like the classic, not zombies map overall, right? Because it's not a classic map, but it's the classic Black Ops 1 map.
yeah.
It's the first map in Black Ops 1. I'd say second, probably Ascension. Uh, third Moon. Then Shangri-La. Well, no. After Moon, I'd put Doris, and
Hmm.
then Shangri-La, and then uh, Shinonuma, and then Verrucht, and then Nacht, and then like 5 and Call of the Dead. I mean, Call of the Dead is definitely my least favorite.
Yeah, yeah, I can say the same. So yeah, for me, I would say definitely Ascension. Like to me, that was like almost perfect. Like it had diversity of strategies. It had a good wonder weapon.
Hmm.
It didn't have anything wrong with it apart from the monkeys would sometimes steal your quick revive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like if it didn't have that, it would literally be perfect for me. Um, Number two, I'm actually going to say Darius because I played Darius so many times. I really liked the fact there was like 7 different strategies that were all viable. It was awesome, really. I loved that. Then I'd probably say Shinanuma just because I'd gotten like multiple records on that map and I played it so much and I really liked it. I don't know why. I just really loved that map. And then I'd probably say then I like Root. I don't know why I like that map, but again, like I like the maps that have diversity of strategies, and there were like 4 or 5 different viable strategies on Varund, which I really liked.
Hmm.
Um, then I'd probably say Kino, because it is a classic Black Ops map, and then Moon, and then I really don't like Nacht. Like I just found it too hard, and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like Shangri-La because of I didn't like the flaming zombies, and also I really didn't like 5, and I didn't like Call of the Dead.
No, I didn't like
Yeah,
5 of Call of the Dead.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
agree with that.
So yeah, that's us done, I think. Yeah, thank you for watching, whatever, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.